Hello, all my cosmic cunties. I am coming to you with the weekly astrological energy forecast for the week of November 24th until November 30th. This is, although it has some spice to it, this is a breath of fresh air in my humble opinion. This is forward movement. We were down in the trenches in Scorpio season. We still got a little bit of Scorpio flavor to finish off with. But yeah, this week I've got some, I feel the good energy coming. So if you don't know me, welcome. My name is Tiffany. I am the head cunt here at Cosmic Cunties. And this is where we talk all things cosmos while learning how to integrate the cosmic energy into our cunty selves. So as always, I start with my intention for everybody for the week, and yeah, let's get into it. We'll go day by day, so Monday through Sunday, talking about the general energies of each day. And then this week, I'm bringing back our card pools, so I will tap into the collective conscious energy of everyone that is watching this week. So my intention for everybody for this week is enjoy the forward momentum. We have truly been in these deep, dark depths of Scorpio season, of transformation, of rebirth, of dying all the old versions of ourselves, seeing where we aren't showing up authentically as ourselves, seeing where we have old beliefs, old systems, old thought patterns, old people, places, things, habits, all of the above. If they did not serve the version we're becoming, next year is the year of the horse, forward movement, the year of one, new, fresh beginnings. If these things are not serving us and our most authentic, highest version of ourselves, they're out. We did them out. We threw them out with the trash. And if not, the universe threw them out for themselves. That applies to everything in our life. And if you're still sitting here and you know that there's something, someone, some place, habits, thoughts, ideas, beliefs about yourself, anything that's holding you back, and you need to get rid of it, it's coming. It's happening. We still got a couple, we got like another month, right, of this year, okay? But this week we have 2 planets starting to go direct. So that's forward momentum. And then we're going to start having some of these outer planets catch up and go direct as well within the next couple of weeks. So we're really starting to stop the reflection and go forward. So all the reflecting energy that we've been doing, all the refinement that we've been doing, all of the throwing the trash out, it's all so that we can start going forward. So basically all of our layers have been removed and we are being exposed for all that we are, clear with our goals and intentions, sure on how to keep maneuvering in our worlds. And we are taking the first steps into our new lives this week. So this is really living in big Sagittarius energy. We are in Sagittarius sun season, and all the other planets are, if they're not already, catching up for moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius season. So this energy is very much so fun, flirty, adventurous, not holding back. It's real, it's raw, it's truth spitting. And we're building from this realness that we have unearthed for ourselves and hopefully everything in our lives. And I'll share earlier today, this really gave me some Sagittarius energy. I was on my typical daily hike with my dogs. We have the same path that we typically go to, one of 2 paths. And this time I was like, you know what? I've got a little extra time today. Why don't I go see what's over in this area? And I did. And I'm so happy that I did because there were so many, obviously there was like another pond, there were yellow flowers everywhere. And then I just kind of allowed my intuition to lead me. And I pulled up, I pulled up and walked up next to this area on this path, and I could just smell what I thought was jasmine, like overtake. And that's my favorite scent. One of my favorite scents, my favorite floral scent. And I just was like, oh my gosh, of course I would stumble upon here. I snagged a little of the jasmine. I use plant net, but it doesn't say it's jasmine. It says it's something else, but it smells just like jasmine and it's white flowers, although not viney. Anyways, I digress. So if you're willing to be adventurous, if you're willing to explore, if you're willing to go forward and try something new, if you're willing to just be raw and real and go out there and not let fear stop you, there's so much beauty out there and so many more things that you can learn in life. And so like the truth reveals itself when you step out and allow yourself to experience new things, and only growth can come from newness, right? So new fertile soil. So where in your life are you going to start throwing that fertile soil out so that you can see what grows for you and what doesn't, and following those signs? So I'm pretty excited for Sagittarius season, and we are catching up all week leading to Sagittarius season, although there are some scorpionic things that are going to unravel and kind of unfold and finish up and wrap up this week. So this is a big week, but not too intense, or it shouldn't be, unless you didn't do your job during Scorpio season last week, or the weeks before. So anyways, let's see what the collective conscious what the reading is for the collective conscious, what the universe, God, goddess, our ancestors, and our highest interests and highest timeline and paths have to say for us. All right, we got the planet of Venus. Let's see what sign we have. Ooh, you guys, I like the way this is coming out. Let's see what house we have. Whose house? I don't know. Okay, we got in the 11th house. Oh, this is so beautiful. Love this. Okay. We got Venus and Taurus in the 11th house. So the spiritual message is cherish your beliefs for humanity's sake. Mental is enjoy the cost of your hopes and wishes. And in the physical, charm, art, and beauty are the way to use the most direct way and do it for the future. Let me rephrase that. Charm, art, and beauty are to be used in the most direct way for the future. Yeah. I mean, if we're not here to create as we were created from the great creatrix, then what else are we here to do? The master creatrix of everything has put us on this planet to see, what can you create? What can you do? What can your being and your experiences and the way that you think create? And because we are all tiny little parts of God or goddess or the creatrix or creator that's experiencing itself, and it wants to see how cool it can get and how fun it can be, and like just ways like, oh, I didn't, think of that. I mean, I'm sure God or goddess doesn't say that, but we're here to attempt and create and see the beauty and the art and the small little mundane things within life every single day. For what is life if we are not allowing ourselves to enjoy every moment? And if you're not enjoying every moment, your only piece of life that you have, which is the now, is passing you by. So enjoy it, for humanity's sake. Okay, let's dive in, babies, cunties. I'm so bad at accents, but that accent is something that I keep coming back to, and it's Tiffany's accent. That's exactly what it is, because I don't know where it comes from. Anywho. Okay, Monday today, the 24th, we've got the moon in Capricorn opposing Jupiter in Cancer. So moon in Capricorn that we're going to be having today and tomorrow is very orderly, very organized, very get things done. It's earth energy. It's grounded. And so you might be feeling yourself really trying to accomplish goals and accomplish tasks. And yeah, that's a beautiful energy to be in. I think the warning here with a moon in Capricorn is not allowing ourselves to actually feel our emotions in our body and instead processing them through our mind and being very analytical about them versus just like letting them be. With it opposing Jupiter and Cancer is all about the feels. So it doesn't matter what emotion. It's like, yeah, let's feel it. Let's feel it big, but it's in opposition. So this energy could be making us feel a little restrictive internally, or like a little hard on ourselves if we are feeling big things. Capricorn's like, no, analyze it. And Jupiter and Cancer's like, no, feel it. And you guys know the right answer there. So try to drop out of your mind and into your body. This could bring about a situation or someone that's wanting for us to be a little bit more intimate or speak on our emotions, but we're feeling kind of restricted on that, or like we're being more logical than emotional. So just pay attention to that. And maybe ask yourself if there's an arena or an area or a conversation where you can let yourself feel a little bit more into it to create that intimacy with that other person or within that situation. Also today we've got Mercury retrograding in Scorpio, and it's conjunct Venus in Scorpio. So we are still going to be dealing this week with the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, although it will go direct on the 29th. So we're getting out of Mercury retrograde, y'all. It's going direct. But Venus is still in Scorpio, and Venus will be going into Sagittarius as well. So this is really the last final Scorpio energies of wrapping up. It's the last energy to keep reflecting inward on how we're showing up in love, if we're aligned within our relationships, if we're asking for what we actually need in our relationships, are we being honest about how we feel and what makes us feel loved? And are we sharing that with ourselves, like being real and honest with ourselves? And are we sharing that with loved ones within our lives? So we can only become more intimate and be loved exactly how we want to be loved if we are actually going to be honest and real with ourselves and also with the people in our lives. So Tuesday, the 25th, we still have the moon in Capricorn, and it's trining that Uranus, which is retrograding in Taurus. Still that grounded internal emotional landscape, but it's also that analytical piece. With it trining, we're looking at a beneficial working together, a beneficial aspect. And Taurus is another earth sign, so still grounded as well. With it retrograding, Uranus retrograding, the planet of shaking it up, it's within our internal world, or something external can be happening that's causing us to reflect internally. It can be something that happens that allows us to ground into our emotions, or something that might help us realize our self-worth. Taurus is really big on worthiness, self-worth. Also finances. It can be something to do with grounding in our finances, getting our finances set straight. But also it can be speaking on our behalf in a way that we don't usually. So allowing ourselves to like be shaken up in the moment and stand for, no, this is my value, this is my worth, and I'm good, and I feel grounded in this, and saying it this way and communicating it this way. So it's positive and sticking up on our behalf. Yeah, an event might cause us to see how worthy we are. Maybe someone says something to you and helps our confirmation. Again, this is reminding me of an beautiful email that I received this morning, actually. And for those of us that are sensitive to energy, sometimes these energies happen a day or two before the actual date that we're talking about. And so someone sent a really beautiful email about me and how I show up in the spiritual world and in the community and my offerings. And quite frankly, it's probably the nicest thing anyone's ever written about me. And I feel it helped me re-find my worth and myself. If I was forgetting it, it was a reminder that other people see that and feel that, and that the work that I'm doing is recognized, and it deeply touched my heart. And so maybe even you can help others see their worthiness as well. And so that's kind of what this energy is about on Tuesday. It's really beautiful energy. We also have the moon is going to move out of Capricorn and go into Aquarius. And with that being said, it's going to conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. So we're starting to kind of pull out of this like deep reflective state and that we've been in Scorpio season, where it's been real internal transformation. And it's maybe starting to allow us to reflect on how we show up in the world as our new authentic selves, as our new ways of being and thinking? And how are we, our new authentic selves, showing up in groups of people? Are those groups of people aligned with the new versions of ourselves? It's okay if after all of this deep excavation work that we've been doing in Scorpio season, within the deep excavation year of the snake in 2025, if we come out of this little portal or massive portal and we're like, oh, this new version of me, the way that she speaks or he speaks or I speak, or the way that I believe, does not align with these people or with certain people within this group that I have been accustomed to for however long. It can be even years. And here's the hard part. What do you do about that? Do you leave those relationships there, even though they don't serve who you are anymore, and keep doors closed to new people that could help keep raising you higher? Or do you let it fizzle out and allow that energetic cord to just like be waving out there in the open air, still allowing like a door to be cracked open, or several, when it could close and a new door could open? Or do you have those tough conversations? Does the new version of you have those tough conversations where you end things that are no longer aligned with you? And if you're sitting here and things are popping up in your mind and you're like, I know it's this person, or I know it's this group, or I know it's this chat, or I know it's this way of being, or I know it's this place I continue to go to, if they're not rising you up and helping you grow anymore with this new version of yourself, and those are coming up in your thoughts as I'm speaking, you know what you need to do. And how does the new version of you handle it? That's the tea on Tuesday. All right, Wednesday, the 26th, we are moving with Venus in Scorpio, trine Jupiter in Cancer. We got 2 water signs. We've got expansion of the love, the beauty, the harmony, abundance. This energy is supporting intimacy within our relationships. So we are supported in our deep desires and emotions and our expressions of these emotions. This is offering a supportive, energetic container to dive deeper with our loved ones, which is very important because we are becoming more realistic about the things in which are aligned with us and are not aligned with us. And you are being supported to state what is aligned with you and what isn't on Wednesday, okay? We also have Venus in Scorpio trining Saturn retrograde in Pisces. This is the last, I believe, let me double check before I speak out of turn here. Where did it go? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It is the last Saturn retrograding aspect that we're going to experience in Pisces, because Saturn is going direct. That's the big planet, the outer planet that's going direct this week. That is our big momentum going forward. So this is kind of the last time where we can reflect on where are we able to let our walls down a little bit more in love, self-love, allowing ourselves to receive love from others. Something could happen that allows our walls to melt, where we feel a little more comfortable in sharing what is on our hearts safely. If there's something you've been feeling, needing, or wanting, this is the time to speak up. This is the time to get things kind of aligned for that forward momentum. We also have the moon in Aquarius squaring Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. And I had that it was Capricorn, but that is wrong. So moon in Aquarius squaring Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. This is still the emotions of, are we fitting within our groups now that we have our new version of ourselves? And it's very much so this reflection inward and feeling this friction potentially if you're not aligned within these groups, and having these conversations, these emotional conversations within these groups of what you need to go forward. Or maybe this is the tough conversation of ending those friendships or ending those relationships. This is the feelings on Thursday, and you're supported. Yeah, maybe something external happens where they're testing your ability to stay kind of within yourself, seeing the big picture of kind of what friends and what types of groups you want to be a part of now. And so don't be surprised if some things come out this week about ending friendships. Or ending, it doesn't have to be friends, because Aquarius is all groups and it's just humanitarian causes. So it could even be like you no longer back humanitarian causes that you once thought were legit. And now you're like, damn, that cause is, you know, not real, not true. I'm no longer a backer of this cause or of this group of people. It doesn't even have to be friends, or it could be work even. It could be like, yeah, no, this group of people is not for me anymore, and this version that I've excavated. So it doesn't have to be friends, but it's still groups of people that you're no longer aligned with if you have been doing the deep work, and there are people that you're not aligned with. It's going to come up this week. This is really like the last, like, especially in love relationships, because of that Venus and Scorpio. This is really, it's Venus and Mercury that's really doing the big ones this week. So if you put the communication planet and the love planet together, what do you get? All right, Thursday we've got Moon in Aquarius squaring Venus and Scorpio. This is outside of the box thinking. Groupthink is at friction with the internal depths that we've been feeling. This is the transition from the deep transformation that we've been going through to expanding ourselves into the world as this raw new version of ourselves. This is really like a cocoon releasing that's being phased out. This is kind of like we're starting to like, it's almost like my dear friend Jen talks about being in the cocoon as a butterfly, as a caterpillar, and then the butterfly coming out. It's actually really painful. And unless you have like developed those muscles and are really fighting to like come out as the new version of yourself, it can be extremely excruciating. So to me, what this week is looking like, and Thursday specifically, what I'm looking at is with this forward momentum after all this deep excavation and internal work, there's a hole in the cocoon. We can see out like, oh, it's time. It's time to go. This is what our new life looks like. But we can also like see like, oh, those people are still there, or like, oh, these habits are still there, or oh, that place is still there. And it's like, before you start to tear that cocoon open and emerge as your fully new self, you have to like make sure that what you're arriving into is aligned and feels good for that new version. So that's exactly what's going on. The Moon in Aquarius is also squaring Uranus retrograding in Taurus. So this is a shakeup in our self-worth or our finances, and it's causing us some inner turmoil about how we fit in the world. This is asking us to stand in our power, remembering why we have done all this internal work, and this knowing, this inner knowing that we are worthy as we are, every version that we are. So we're not, shitting on the past version of ourselves. We are loving that past version for getting us to here, always. And to hold space, just like we hold space for our inner child, we're holding space for this version that we're shedding now, okay? But at the same time, we're knowing that we're worthy in all aspects, including the new version that's getting ready to come out. So there's something there that's making us maybe question that worthiness. And this is our practice of like, no, I know my worthiness now. Then we've got the moon moving into Pisces. So that's dreamy, emotional, creative, wise. It's a good time. I always love a moon in Pisces because it's a good time to channel our emotions into creative art projects or any creative project. And then we've got the Saturn going direct. So we're finally starting to feel the relief from all our major outer planets starting to go direct. This is the first one. Saturn is officially heading direct for the next few years, which is going to be the energy to help us go forward in our dreams, the discipline and the organization that we need to move forward on our projects is back. It's here. It's no longer being internalized. It is all that deep reflecting work and refining work that we've been doing the last few months. We know what we need to do and the actions we need to take to move them forward. Then lastly, on Thursday, we've got the sun in Sagittarius squaring the moon in Pisces. So this energy is asking us to show up in a fun and an adventurous way, but internally we just kind of want to be emotional and dreamy, maybe at home and not going out. So we're kind of like feeling this like little friction, like, oh, but no. Also, I think because, right, Thursday's Thanksgiving, I clearly have some tension with Thanksgiving and what it stands for originally, or what it was originally. But I really do find Thanksgiving to be a great day to continue to practice gratitude. And so you might want to be with your friends and family, of course, and you probably are going to, but just know that you might be feeling a little emotional inside, more so than you would like to be when you're around, especially family that tend to bring up your like big mirrors and shadows. So yeah, just try to lean into like the more fun, adventurous, playful side of Sagittarius and less like on our emotions. Although, you know, find the gratitude in the little things on Thursday. All right, Friday, we've got the moon in Pisces still, but it's squaring Mars in Sagittarius. So our internal world, our emotions are maybe struggling a little bit with things that are happening, maybe how we're showing up and wanting to take action, or maybe the way that people are showing up and taking actions, like fiery, kind of just like going out there and doing things and being a little wild. And you're like, oh, you're doing that, but you weren't, you know, maybe you didn't ask me like if I wanted to be involved, or if I wanted to be involved in that way. So it can just feel a little, a little tension there. And then we've got Saturday. Saturday is a pretty big day. The moon is doing a lot of work. The moon is being pretty extra on Saturday. So just know that your emotions are probably going to be, they're going to be very present on Saturday. All right. So we've got the moon in Pisces trining Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. It's also trining Jupiter in Cancer, and it's also conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Okay, these are all water signs. Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, and the moon are all swimming around together, and that's a lot of energy to be swimming around together in. And not to mention Mercury is still in retrograde in Scorpio, so it's so spicy. And yeah, it's a strong emotional day where things are happening externally that are highlighting how we feel. We might be feeling like there's restriction or discipline on how we feel internally, or like there's an expansion of that discipline and restrictiveness internally. And it's causing us to do some final reflecting to round out the Scorpio season. Basically, this is like the big, like Scorpio's like, no, I'm going out with a bang. And it really is, because same day, shortly thereafter that, Mercury does go direct in Scorpio. And so this is giving us freedom from the miscommunication and the travel issues and all of that. However, if you are someone that is sensitive to the shadow periods, this is post-shadow period still, so you're still going to be feeling things. But this is the second planet to go direct this week, so I think we're going to feel some relief this week. I'm already kind of feeling relief. I hope you guys are too. And then we also have the moon in Pisces is trining Venus in Scorpio. It's also conjunct Neptune retrograding in Pisces. And so this is really allowing ourselves to feel things deeply still, supporting our creative pursuits, maybe using our emotions, like I mentioned earlier, to guide us in creating or connecting with others with our new versions that are emerging. So it's kind of like, or that like little tadpole or that little butterfly that's come out and we're like, ooh, like, do I like you? Or like, ooh, how do you make me feel? And it's just testing the waters. And then with it conjunct Neptune retrograde in Pisces, it's still that dreamy and creative energy. So allowing ourselves to use this placement to create, to channel that dreaminess and the emotions, it's really supportive in that. Showing up as our new versions of ourselves. I don't know, dress in a new way that day or something. Have fun with yourself, create something new. And then we've got the moon moving into Aries. So she's spicy, she's intense. Don't be afraid of your emotions. I know my Aries moon people tend to be pretty intense, and they either have been taught to cover their emotions up or, you know, tuck them deep inside, be a lady, or be a guy, you know, you don't have emotions. But in reality, use them, be passionate. Our emotions are a beautiful thing. That's what we're here to do, is to feel all of them. And the only way we can actually heal is to feel. And then we've got Venus and Scorpio opposing Uranus retrograde and Taurus. So this is a shakeup in our love life. Whether it's a test of our self-worth or whether we're willing to speak our truths as the new version of ourselves, something is ungrounding us and testing us within our love, whether that's internal self-love or external. Depends on your circumstances. So expect a lot of emotions on Saturday and some shakeup for sure. And if you can just do some creative outletting, that can really help and be therapeutic for you. Okay. We've got Sunday, the last day of this week. Venus in Scorpio is trine Neptune retrograde in Pisces. This is the last Venus move in Scorpio. So utilize it to do that last internal excavation. Or maybe where are you being delusional in your relationships? Where are you not being realistic? You can feel the truth in your gut. Do something about it. Because then we've got Venus moving into Sagittarius. So we're out of Scorpio season entirely by the end of this week. We're moving into fun, truth-seeking, adventurous love. I fucking love it. And then we've got the sun in Sagittarius trining the moon in Aries. So we're feeling fiery. We're showing up flirty and fun and flamboyant. Our emotions are matching how we show up in life. And we're not feeling as intense as the Scorpio season. We're just feeling more of like that external, like go and have fun. It's giving like, let's go to the carnival, which if I don't go to a carnival on my first date with whoever my next partner is, I have been craving that for so long. And yes, I know I should take myself to the carnival, but like that is my dream first date, a carnival. And I am calling that shit in, and carnivals are popping up everywhere. And maybe Sunday's the day for me to have that, because that's what this energy is giving. So anyways, I digress. What's your fun first date? Maybe, or just date in general. Maybe on Sunday, go do it. It's aligned. Or in that relationship. That's kind of the energy on Sunday. It's like either end the relationship that's not working or go on that fun date. So yeah. Okay, Cunties, I love y'all so much. I hope y'all love yourself so much. I hope that you are continuing to try to be the best version of yourselves and witnessing how the external world is a direct reflection of your internal world, as always. And if you have any questions or any comments or any feedback, constructive or positive, either way, put them in the comments, email me, DM me on Instagram. My website, my email, and my Instagram are all linked down below. Also, shout out to Mary, who gave me money for coffee. That made my day. I love y'all, and I love your support so much. Like, it's the fuel that gets me going and keeps me going. And when I hear the feedback from you guys, I am so grateful, and it's the fuel that I need. So please, 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 please just like it or subscribe. I am at least halfway to 50 subscribers. Once I hit 50 subscribers, I am going to start breaking this stuff down, doing it by rising signs, so you can tell exactly how these things are going to be hitting you, especially the major ones. And it'll be personalized to your chart based on the rising sign. So I have had that request, but I need 50 subscribers to make it worthwhile, because that's a lot of work, Cunties. And yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful week and go have fun. Take yourself on that date.